Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, collectors of all ages, it is AussieVerse, and tonight it is what we read March. Sharif and I are taking the show by storm tonight because no one else wanted to come on. No, in all honesty, everybody.
No, or maybe they've not read anything in March. So.
Yeah, everyone was really busy. So we really want to shout out to all the people that have been on the videos recently. That's going up to you, Steve. You're the third wedge of AussieVerse, and we miss you, buddy. Come back soon. Whack Comx, Simple Simon, and all the guests that we've had recently. It's been really a lot of fun, so thank you very much. Tonight we are going through what we have read March 2024. Sharif, why don't you go first, mate?
All right, so it's been a light March for me. I've only gone through 2 books. Both of them are DC Black Label books. First of all is Wonder Woman Historium. First off, let me just tell you, this is a gorgeous book. If you've seen George Perez's work, it's like that. Small, minute detail. Each panel is chock full of stuff, and it took me a long while to go through all 4. This collects only 4 issues, and it felt like reading more than 4 because of all the detail that goes into the art. Story wise, it's written by quick one, Kelly Sue DeConnick, with art by Phil Jimenez, Gene Ha, and Nicola Scott.
So is the story good though, or is it just the art?
No. Okay. Me as a reader, I tend to go for the art first. So I gawked on this book, but then after the quick flip proof for the art, then I started reading. Man, I tell you, if your knowledge of what Amazons are only from reading the Wonder Woman books, throw that out the window, because this delves right deep into the folklore on how the Amazon race actually started. And
cool. Okay.
And just like Wonder Woman, it's steeped in Greek mythology. You've got Zeus at the top, and you've got all the masculine or the gods, the male gods, and then the female goddesses. How they are portrayed with the masculine gods. They're big, they're shiny, but with the goddesses, it's like night and day. And the dialogues between these two, it's like one talking over the other, and because of that, the goddesses felt that even though they are goddesses, they are not at par as with their counterpart, and as a defiance to throw in the face of Zeus and all the other male gods, they gave a part of themselves into the well of the dead and forgotten female souls that passed away in Earth, and not that they were somehow wronged. And in doing so, they created the 6 tribes of Amazon. One of the goddesses didn't partake in that action, and eventually we were introduced to this young woman called Hippolyta. If you recognize the name, then you do. So Hippolyta eventually met up with one of the queens of one of the 6 queens of the Amazon tribe, and somehow or other she wrangled herself. She wanted to be part of the Amazon, but they said, oh, okay, you choose which stripe you want to go. But by doing so, you only pay tribute or worship only one goddess, and she felt that all of the girls that she has saved during her travels uh, wouldn't wouldn't do justice if she were or they were to just devote themselves to one goddess. And she said, you know what, I'm gonna be the seventh Amazon tribe, and that's how the Themyscirian Amazons were born.
Oh,
So if you wanna, okay, so what I've just shared with you is just issue 1 and 2. There seems to be like a lot already happening.
yeah.
You want to know more? I recommend go grab this. It's available in 4 magazine size issues, or the hardcover, and the hardcover has 2 versions: the DM, which is this one, and the other, which I think Bo, you have that one. Yeah, so
Sweet.
really good read, really good read. And like I said, I've been doing my Black Label reads, and the second one is Rogues.
Oh, I want to read that one.
Dude, get onto it. It's this one is a sad one. It it tells the story of um, Captain Cold and the rest of the rogues, set in the future, where they have all aged and taken different paths in life.
Yeah,
Some are reformed, well, no, most are reformed, and with Captain Cole, he has this nagging feeling that there is one more heist in him, and the kicker came after him being um, what's the word oh shoot, what's the word well, he got crap at work. So he said, you know what, forget this. I'm gonna pull out my gold coal gun and do one more heist. And we see the rest of the rogues. He starts recruiting one rogue at a time.
right.
um, and the big heist is, it's like breaking into Fort Knox, but instead of Fort Knox, it's Gorilla City. So you know who leads Gorilla City, and towards the end, it's one big fight between the rogues and the gorillas. Um, one one side won, the other side lost. Lots of death, and it's a sad death.
Oh,
It's, yeah, it's
okay.
okay. And the team for this one is Joshua Williamson. So if you've he did was the other Wonder Woman Black Label as well, Dead Earth, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So Rogues and Wonder Woman, his Wonder Woman, good read.
Yes,
It's
sweet.
right up there. So that's
All
me.
right. That's it. That's all you got?
Yeah, that's a
All right.
lot.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, well, I'm about to school you because I've read a lot. All right. So I'm going to try and go through them really quickly. But Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Now,
Oh, heard of it. Yep.
I kept putting this one off because Spider-Man miniseries in the last few years really haven't been that great. It's very, very rare these days that you have a miniseries that is actually really good. And I got to tell you, man, just like you said about the Amazonians, the art in this book, and I never talk about how good art is in a book because I'm there purely for the story, but the art in this book is phenomenal. It is, every page is a piece of freaking art. And the story's actually pretty good too, man. Like it's Demon Bear from the X-Men. puts Spider-Man in like a trance and tells him that he's got to do X, Y, and Z to escape a nightmare world. And it's just like I just can't get over how good every page is in this book. So it's actually one of the rare trades that I got in my last batch of trades where I'm definitely keeping it, and it's simply just because of the art in it. It's just so good, man. And I haven't seen this artist before, Juan Freire. But it's just beautiful.
The way Spidey is drawn there's a bit of the Japanese Spider-Man vibes to it.
Yeah, but oh god, just like every single page. One of them that I just loved, and I'd love to get as a poster if I can get it without taking too long. Well, no, I'm going to take too long, so I'll just show you this last one. It's so good, man. And it's hey,
I'm seeing Doctor Strange.
Yeah, you don't need to read anything before it. You don't need to read anything after it. It's just beautiful. Next, we have one that I was dying to read for ages. All Eight Eyes by Steve Fox. I got this purely because, as much as I love Spider-Man, I'm terrified of spiders, and I love being scared. So, I love the movie Arachnophobia. I can't wait to see the upcoming movie called Sting. And if you don't know what Sting is, after this video, go to YouTube and check out that trailer. Oh, boy. So this is about giant spiders that just come out into the world, and it's about these people fighting them. Now, I've got to admit, I was quite disappointed because it's everything. It's very predictable. It's not very original, and it kind of doesn't make sense how these things exist, and it's kind of a secret. It's a bunch of crap, really, when you think about it. I mean, I'm glad I read it, but will I ever read it again? Probably not. Which is a shame. Which is a shame. Next up, we have Snyder's Witches, which I know you read a little while ago. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this a lot. It was a great story, actually, and it would make a great little movie. What I am not impressed with is Scott Snyder does a little. He writes a little thing in here. Hang on. I'll just go to the extras. So at the end, he's like talking about witches and how it's created, right? And he goes, he says things like, "We pledge that we will never take your support for this book for granted, as we have been stunned and humbled by it. And we pledge to keep the book true to its nature. The next arc will focus on Sailor and the Irons, different characters, but at its core, it will be about issues as personal as this arc has been. And I can promise you, lastly, we pledge our thanks. You have made this book for what it is, and we are indebted to you." So, like, nice stuff, right? But then he's gone, where is it? Hang on. I can't find it, but in somewhere in here, he turns around and he goes, because I'm now going to be doing work on Batman coming up or something like that, I'm going to be a little busy and it might take a little while for me to get to it. But I promise you I will not forget the people that supported this book. And I promise you that I won't forget about this book, and I'll come back to and he never did. Like, he never did come back to it, and it's like, yeah, you've said some really sweet things, but where's the second arc, man?
But the good thing is that the story in that book, that arc, is complete.
Yeah. So you don't need a second arc, but like, don't write a blurb at the end saying how grateful you are, and I'm going to stay true to the fans and make sure that that it's not forgotten. And well, it is forgotten, Mr. Snyder. Like, don't get me wrong. I think you're a great writer, and I know how busy you must be. And I'm probably commenting from a place of ignorance, but you know. Next up, I read Love Struck by Dennis Hopeless. And I got this purely because I like Dennis Hopeless. And I like the premise of it, which is love is a multi-billion-dollar industry with fingers in every corporate pie. And Cupid is the megalomaniac CEO, which is that big dude. And this girl becomes a Cupid. And it's about making people fall in love and all that sort of stuff. And I dug the first few chapters, but I just fell out of it, to be honest with you. I don't know why, but I just didn't finish it. I wasn't that interested. And these days I'm trying to live by a motto where if you're not dying to continue reading a book, then just don't and go to one that you are. Because there's just too much to read out there, that if you're not loving what you're reading, don't waste your time.
But aren't you afraid that you might miss something at the end that you might like?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't just give up and put it down. I do like go, oh, is this going to be worth it? And I skip ahead and see if I'm missing anything. And like, to be honest, you're right. There's always the chance that you do miss it. And no matter how much you flip through to the end, you could still miss something. But yeah, no.
It's not for you. No, okay.
We Have Demons, another Scott Snyder book. This I really enjoyed as well. I thought this was really, really cool. Have you read this one at all, Sharif?
No, but the title sounds familiar.
So it's about a girl that loses her father when she's young, and she grows up a bit disenchanted with life. And then she finds out her father is a demon hunter, and that's why he wasn't around, and that's why he got killed. And she meets this character.
Supernatural.
Yeah, very supernatural, I guess. But she meets this character. I'm trying to get a good picture of him. Well, okay, just show you this this guy right here. And he's half demon, and he's such a lovely character. And they become like this twosome that fight. And I highly recommend it. It was actually really, really cool. I don't know if it's only 3 issues, which is odd for like quite a thick book. Yeah.
And I noticed is a team with Capullo.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So Scott Snyder, Capullo, and 3 other names there. There is a lot of extras actually that take up a lot of the book, but it says again Snyder, end of book 1. There's no book 2. I'm pretty sure. So next up is a great friend of mine, OmniBeau. A couple of times he sent me a message and goes, "Hey man, if you pay for postage, I'll just give you this book for free," because he didn't like them. And I'm like, yeah, cool, man. And one of them was Aerosmith. So smart in their fine uniforms. Have you read this one?
No, it's been in and out of my cart for a while.
Well, I really dug it. I thought it was really cool, by Kurt Busiek and Carlos Pacheco. It's basically World War One, but what if it was like World War One in like the Lord of the Rings, And it's really cool. I actually dug it. I don't know why he didn't like it. What's annoyed me is it seems to be the theme of my books at the moment is there is a volume 2. However, it's never been released in a hardcover. It's only a trade. So you don't need volume 2 because I really enjoyed this on its own. And it doesn't really leave it at a cliffhanger or anything. But I kind of want to read volume 2, but I don't want volume 1 hardcover and volume 2 trade. So I'm just not going to buy it, which seems like a bit of a missed opportunity. The rest I've got are digital ones. So we've got the latest Thunderbolts, which is pretty new. There's only 2 or 3 issues out on Marvel Unlimited at the moment, so I haven't actually finished it. But it's actually really good. The last few Thunderbolt series have not been that great, but this one seems to really be going back to the Thunderbolt roots. And that is, in this premise, it's the Winter Soldier teaming up with Contessa Del Fontana, whatever her name is, that's been recently introduced into the MCU. And who else? I've gone blank with a couple of other. The Russian. You can tell that this book was kind of meant to come out when Black Widow came out, because it has a couple of characters from that movie. One of them being the Russian guard. What's his name? The Russian Captain America. And Thunderbolts in the past have always had a mission statement, and this mission statement is. It's not word for word, so don't quote me verbatim, but it's we're going after the big boys, and no matter what, we're stopping them once and for all. And they go after the Red Skull. And Bucky Barnes is like dead set, I'm killing him. Like no ifs, no buts. The Red Skull has been around for too long, and I'm going to murder him. He's got to die. It's just too much. And they go after him. And then it's after the Kingpin, and it's I'm really digging it, man. It's pretty cool. Next we have Midnight Suns.
Oh, you've started.
Hey?
You've started Midnight Suns.
Oh, I finished it, yeah. A lot of people were excited about this one because people love the title Midnight Suns, although this is the first time it's been spelt with a U and not an O. And yeah, look, I'd never heard of this Ghost Rider character before, the one in the bottom, which is like this ancient Indian, American Indian woman. But it was pretty good. I got to admit, I enjoyed it. I doubt they're going any further with it though, so I think it's just a one and done mini series. But it was entertaining. It was good. I've got two more, and that is the latest Punisher series, because you know me, I'm always going to read Punisher. And I think this got people a little angry because it's a brand new Punisher, which, like on paper, I'm not a fan of. But I'm not going to lie, it's actually a good series so far. Don't be stupid and think that this guy is going to be the Punisher forever. Obviously, Frank Castle is going to come back. You know that. But the premise behind this one is, for those that haven't read the Punisher series prior to this and the Daredevil series that came out before the current Daredevil's run, the Punisher was working with the Hand and kind of got possessed and went all like even more evil than the Punisher is. And at the end of that storyline, let's just say the Punisher disappears and you don't know where he is, if he's alive or dead. So this guy, I don't think he, from memory, I don't think he actually goes out and calls himself the Punisher. He's wearing shield armor. That those lights there are for a reason. But because it sort of looks like the Skull and he's acting a bit like the Punisher, people just call him the Punisher. But it starts off where like he loses his family, not in a little bit of a similar way to Frank Castle, but it's about a guy that's just, F you mob and F you people. I'm going out there and I'm taking the law into my own hands. And he's actually a cool character. I kind of really dig him, but I don't dig him enough to want him to replace Frank Castle. But yeah, it's a good read. So I do suggest not reading it just because you're upset that it's not Frank Castle. And the last one that I've got is SpiderMan 2099 Dark Genesis. Yeah, I didn't dig that. I didn't dig that. I read that and put it straight in my to sell pile, which is a shame because Spider-Man 2099 is such a good character, but his mini-series lately have just been no good, in my opinion. I'm hoping that changes it around with the new Symbiote Spider-Man 2099 series that's just come out. And that's all I've got, man. Are you interested in reading any of those?
Probably the Snyder Capullo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that's all we've got, guys. Thank you for joining us for what we read March. If you guys have read any of these books and you agree or disagree with any of our I don't know what word I'm trying to say
Nation.
there. Summation. Thank you very much.
Sorry.
Please let us know because we really enjoy that. I really love reading comments where it's like, nah, Bo, it's because you didn't get this, or Sharif, I actually didn't like the Amazonians because of X, Y, and Z. It's really good to hear other people's opinions.
Yeah, that is it.
Yeah, and we'll see you soon. Sharif, what's AussieVerse, bro?
Oh, always for life.
Catch you next time.